Thank you for your interest in Kapow video. I'll be demonstrating automation using Kapow Katalyst. This is a sample website, the extraction browser. The allows us to interact with and extract. We can extract visual components or images along with metadata from the HTML, or such as the URL, visually and mapped into with attributes that you define. This is an overall migration process from the website with Kapow into an intermediate database. The content can be formatted, transformed to match the economy in the target CMS as XML by way of open web services, Sling custom API, or provided by the CMS, loaded without using an API at all in the user interface provided by. These are the steps to Kapow. First, URLs that make up the site will be crawl the website and collect the pages along with the URLs, images, and other binaries. We access each item. The resource files are saved, and other assets are the content as structured, enrich, and transform before uploading it to the target. I'll be showing the Kapow Katalyst. We'll see how robots built. We'll look at a robot that does a robot for extracting content, a robot that uploads content. Central to the Kapow Katalyst is the extraction browser, a website into that you can see up above. Create additional steps in the robot with the content in the. For example, I'll recreate the for each URL step. This step, selecting the site, expanding the scope to the entire, clicking on the page. So I want to add a loop URL, and as I click back into the robot above, the for each URL step through the site. Step in the robot will allow you that we have selected on the example. You can see current selected, and you can see the href value safety.gov. So this step, which is configured here, that text value and inventory.url attribute. Past that step, you can verify that it's been populated here. In the inventory robot, a logical step. This current URL is doing an inventory of. This content is .gov website. It's the kaopao.com site. Past this step, let me know that we can't reach past that logical test. Next element in the loop extracted into the URL attribute kaopao.com, and that does contain. So we pass that logical test. Next three tests. Robot check if the collected is one of these CMS. If it is, we do our inventory. In this, so we can pass by these tests. Continue to the next step, query URL, which has so that content type in our inventory object. Now we have the content type URL in our inventory. Load the page, and now that we verified the name, it's not a. We can finally store a database. One step by step for a single that the workflow and we can then switch to run the robot and extract it from the pages, content type, page by runtime. This one's fairly simple. We're simply going to query the database that we just created for the resource files, JPEGs, etc. All those files to the local hard drive location back in our data debug mode now. And here we can see each file name as it says, and the file location our database. Bot goes back to the image. This time we're going to query 10. After the page is loaded, select the main menu to do content on this page. Tag step here is defined. We're going to within the tag below. You can see that the first view is designated as the. Click past this step is found. Extract the text and story over here in our HTML. In the next step, within the page as an article loop that goes through it, and it finds the content object down here. And the next, that's mapped into the content. And then the article date. And as you notice, the article date here is in a different article. That's converter. This is one of Kapow Katalyst. This particular match on the date and can want. There's also convert arithmetic functions and other. The next step, and then and now that we've done an object, we're ready to store. So step by step, one page. This is exact. You load one page that many other pages. Page, define it, object, to transform the content exactly how you want to see the base. Now we're going to and allow the robot to the first page. It'll load the next page on the next page, and if with the layout on other pages, I'll hit. It runs through to this and stops us at extract. I simply hit the go. That brings us back to Studio, where we can see doesn't have a subtitle that we've hit, and we can set robot now. We can where we handle this case. We can set a default title or error handling if it's not a required field. Quick change. We can and run it again. Past the 16th article, the pages, we're on the 14th page. It's this wraps us that allows you to continue robot until you can explore all the pages as you visual content is formatted and set model in your target CMS. Now that we have all of our content, we're ready to upload the content. We load Drupal's page and we enter our username. Step, we enter our password. Next step, we click the login button. The add content. As you can see, I'm displaying without using CSS styles all of the links on I can click down into any hidden. Now that I'm at an article, I'm going to go to my data. I'm going to query my data articles. As I click past that step, article is going to be loaded in the object to the bottom right with all the attributes: category, title for this article, the date, and the body of the article. I can load the page, uploading the article, and I can start to enter the attribute data object. Title from. So we have I'm going to enter tags in the article. I have my tag set. And again, for the current step is here. Getting the content from, we're getting it content.html content attribute. So when I click past this step, you populated in field in the browser. Down now and see fully populated in the form to add any that article. Source database table that belonged to that article into the field here. The name of the file that we want to hit the upload button. And now the image has been uploaded. Mark provide a menu link. Menu link this article. We're entering the object. We can see that that's now populated. Step is we've selected, click the save button. Drupal, and the next step back into the database. We'll now go back to the database. Each of the steps following will populate the form, the article to be saved in a URL for the content. The loop step will continue to be uploaded into Drupal. Now, and we can watch as it loads into Drupal one by one. Here's the first article, title, author, the body, and the second, the fourth. And now switch over to Drupal and being added. Of interacting with the including articles into the content. We can obviously do through the user interface simply by clicking on the step bases and recording that you can rerun to get moved into Drupal in encoding or scripting. So here in our database, we can is now fully populated HTML content to relink all of our contents. All see these Kapow generated, last extracted, and last updated. Content migration with no content inventory and content. We run the inventory. It will check the content on the content has been changed. If so, the new CMS. If you have to see a more in-depth, please use the information below. Integration Sales at Kapow Software.